When you're researching your family history, vital records are crucial when discovering the truth. However, there is one factor that you need to be extremely cautious about. The information that's listed on vital records, and when I say vital records, I mean birth, marriage, death, military, tax records, some probate, and even census records. The information that's on those records is what people want you to know. It's not necessarily the truth. It doesn't mean that the information is gold. Okay? Also, understanding the census taker's role is very important too. Okay? The job of a census taker consisted of he or she acquiring pertinent information from each household. As the head of the household was interviewed, it was required that they document their name, their age, race, birthplace, and the relationship to everyone in the household. It also had other things such as if the individual was illiterate, if they owned or rented. Now, the 1900 census specifically asked the question of a female how many children they had given birth to and how many were currently living. Now, the issue of race, I think, is very important, and I want you to pay attention to that. Now, understand that when it pertains to African Americans, the census taker did not always question them about their race, and nor did the head of the household volunteer that information. Now, some of you might say, well, Scrappy, nah, that's not right. That's not right. Let me give you an example. Now, you see how I look. If the census taker came to my home and asked for my name and age and all the other information that was required, do you honestly think that he's going to ask me what my race is? Because it's clear to him, it's clear to just about anybody that looks at me that I am of African American descent, right? Now, even though that's not all that I'm mixed with, but he or she is using their discretion to describe what is evident to them. I look black, so they're going to document me as black. Now, if they approach the door of, we'll say, Rick Fox, Holly Berry, Boris Kojo, or let's say Neo. Now, he just might assume that all of those individuals are black because of their complexions. But you and I know better. Rick Fox, Holly Berry, and Boris Kojo are biracial. They all have white mothers and black fathers. But some people would not know that based on their complexion. They might just think, well, they're just light-skinned black people. Now, when it comes to Neo's mom is black, but I thought what was interesting is that his father is black and Asian. But see, due to his complexion, the Asian might be overlooked. Okay? Now, if the census taker approached the home of actress Jennifer Beals, actor Jesse Williams, Mariah Carey, and Lena Horne, I guarantee you the perception is going to be a bit different. Now, he or she may assume that because they look white, that they are biracial. And he or she just might document them as being mulatto. Now, Jennifer Beals, Mariah Carey, and Jesse Williams are biracial. But Lena Horne is not. Lena Horne is multiracial. And she is descended from an extremely mixed background. But If the census taker doesn't know that, and I guarantee you he's not going to ask her all of that, because number one, he probably doesn't care. And then two, even if he did ask Lena Horne that, she may not even tell all that information. People that were biracial at that time, in the 1800s and 1900s, they might not tell the census taker that they're biracial. They're not going to tell the census taker that my father was white or that my mother was white. They're not going to tell them that. Okay? So the point that I want to make to you is this. I don't care how fair-skinned your foreparent is, how light their eyes are, and how straight their hair is. Okay? They may look as white as cotton, but guess what? They're still a Negro. They are still going under, at that time, the 1% rule. They're still Negro. So in many cases, the census taker did approach some people's homes that were light-skinned, but he still documented them as black. I've seen some individuals in the census that I know are from Utah, that I know were biracial, that their DNA has proven that they were biracial, but they're still listed as black. So it doesn't mean that just because you see black, that they're not mixed with anything else. Don't rule out the fact that they're not mixed with Spanish and Asian and Portuguese and European and all these other ethnic groups just because you see black. Don't rob yourself of that. Understand who you really are.